Hi guys, hey, welcome all to the Monte Cagle Show. I want to show you a dish, two dishes, along with my third vegetable that I used to like, and I wanted to share with you today. And so what we're going to do today, we're going to make a stew that my mom used to do. Like, before we would go to church every Sunday, like, she would get up and everything, everybody would be running around. My mom was a very good cook, and her mother, my grandmother. And I like all kind of things. I'm a good old American guy, but I like cooking too. You know, I really would like to see most people do is potatoes, because I've had potatoes in Europe, and when we were in England, you know, you used to get the British potatoes. And then when we were in Holland, the Dutch folks would tell me, hey, that's how we made it in Holland. Is that right? Yeah, you know, like...
That's how they do it.
So what I loved and what I liked as a kid and what I like now, and I always try to get my wife to make it, is stewed potatoes. Now, the good thing about stewed potatoes is because it's not floating in tons of water. So I'm going to show you the potato thing first. And all you need is just some onions, as you can see right here. Doesn't matter what size, because I'm going to quarter these onions, and some nice young potatoes. They can be old potatoes, young potatoes, but they're a little firmer and they give you a nice, sweeter taste with the young potatoes. So what you do is, I'm going to show you. I'll make it in this pan. Now this is a nice pan. It's nice to cook with a metal. You know, like a nice cast iron pot or a nice stainless steel pot. But today we're going to do what we have. Right here we have an aluminum pot with Teflon coating. It's not good. Sorry. But this is what we have here to cook with, and so we're going to stick with this right here. So, first of all, this is called stewed potatoes. I'm right here enjoying the kids here. We're at my son's home here, and we're just enjoying it. So this is stewed potatoes. So what's important is we're not going to soak it in tons of water. So now, first of all, let's prepare a pan. Now this is a nice pan, and you just use a little oil. You put a little oil in the bottom of the pan. You know, we've got a teaspoonful of oil or a tablespoonful of oil in the bottom of the pan. It depends on how much we're going to cook. There's a lot of folks here, so I'm going to make a lot. So I'm going to put a lot of oil in my nice casserole pan, whatever you want to call it, pot. And we're going to put this on, and what you're going to do is, and let that oil go in and soak around in the pot, and you're going to have a nice little base for when you put your potatoes and your onions. It's very simple, very basic, and you're just going to love it, because I sure do. Now, get your nice sized onions and your nice potatoes.
Should I help you peel the potatoes?
Here, sure. I peeled a few potatoes here, right here. This is my vegetable cutter right here. Now, we have a lot of... We have vegans in our house, vegans, and we have carnivores, like real meat eaters too. So what I'm going to do is, to be honest, okay, I really drop a lot of meat. I really did. Occasionally I'll eat a nice meat dish because I still like meat, you know. But it's not the best for you. But hey, if you're having a party and you have a little get together, a little meat's not going to kill you. So what I do is, I get these nice potatoes and I quarter them. Just like this. You can quarter them, but nice, kind of chunky. You know? Like this. I quarter the potatoes, like so, just to show you. And then you take a nice onion. And you also...
Would you like to use the sharp knife?
Sure. As you can hear, my lovely wife over there in the corner, she's gonna co-host today, and that's Melody. I just love her to death. She's Daddy's helper today.
Hi.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
I'm feeling the potatoes today.
She's peeling potatoes. So you quarter the potatoes and you quarter the onions. You know, a nice size like this. And they're going to be so good. And then you cut them up like that. So we'll be while we're cutting the potatoes, we're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back with the finished product ready to cook. Now we're ready for the next goody part. Hey, look, we cut up the onions. We quartered them, as you can see right here. Nice quarter size, nice size onions, like mid-size. You can make them small, you know, a little younger or a little older, but quarter them, you know. Now we have our onions ready, and as you can see now, we have a nice little bit of young potatoes. They can be old, it doesn't matter, you know. You just got to make sure they're quartered like a nice size like that. You can compare to my hand. Now, man. Now, for the next goody part. Now, like I said, you get a nice pan about this size. You put a little oil in the bottom of the pan. And we're not even going to use one drop of water. So you're going to get the real juice and the real nice flavor without all that onion, potatoes floating in water. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to put it on a very, very low heat, almost off. Right? You got your pan set up. It's going to be super low heat. As you can see right here, you barely see the flame. I like to use gas stove, electric stoves. Not a lot of fun. I mean, you can adjust it a little bit, but when you use a gas stove, you get the real nitty gritty. You can set it whatever temperature you want, and you know, in between. As electric stoves, okay, if you got an electric stove, what are you gonna do? But you put it on the lowest temperature. Now, so we're gonna add our onions. Right? And then we're going to take our nice quartered potatoes and add it into the pot, and you get a nice big pot of onions and potatoes, and you get a nice low heat. Now, seasoning. This is the tough part. Now, my mother. Now, this is the way my mother used to make potatoes. My mom likes to put food in her salt. She did, always like that. But you add a little bit of salt. I'd say about, you know, not too much salt. About, with a pot this size, as you can see, you add about a tablespoon. Also, sugar. Well, I particularly like to use raw brown sugar, not brown sugar, because actually just brown sugar is just cooked sugar. It's like white sugar is white sugar with a little, just been cooked a little bit. Brown sugar. Now, we're going to set this up here, put it on a low heat, the lowest heat you possibly can for the first 15 to 20 minutes. That's a nice top, right? And so we're going to put our top on it. And what we're going to do is we're going to let that sit. And we're going to let that just cook down over it takes about 45 minutes. And you know what? My mom used to put accent. You got to put accent in it. But now we know that accent is ammonium sodium glutamate. It's bad for you. So I wouldn't use accent if I were you, because it's a chemical that causes Alzheimer's. But plain old salt, plain old sugar, and also, right now, from the very beginning, which will be really nice, is plain old black pepper. Pepper, whatever kind. You know, some people use the peppers in the little dispenser that you just chip it on the spot. But I like to use plain pepper cooked already. What do you call it?
Grounded
Grounded already. You know, it's already grounded, and just boop, cook, put it in according to taste. Not too much at the beginning, but like now we're gonna let this cook. It's gonna take about 45 minutes to really cook it down really good. So now we're gonna let this sit here at a super low heat for about 15 minutes. And then after 15 minutes, come back and check it. Don't put it on a high heat because what it'll do is it'll start frying the stuff on the bottom. But let that come in there nice, and that's it. Okay, hey, we're back at the potatoes now, and as you can see, they're starting to cook down. Now you got the potatoes, and they're coming out quite nicely. Like I say, when you get about 15-20 minutes of simmering under that low heat, actually we turned up a little more. That medium is like a medium heat, like I'm doing the meat right now. And you, as you can see, it's starting to cook down already. Now the good thing about it is I'm not adding 1 ounce of water. You don't need to cook your vegetables in tons of water because what it does, it just cooks all the vitamins out and it cooks the flavor out of it. But when you like stew, actually you just like stir fry. When you're stewing your vegetables or potatoes, things like this, you know, you're going to keep a lot of the flavor in it, and you're not going to cook the vitamins and pour, you're going to pour the water out. You're going to pour all the vitamins out with the water. But like this, you're going to get a nice stewed flavor. Now, turn it over. And it's starting to cook down. And get it nice and mix all the seasons, mixing in a little more of the stuff that was on the bottom. And also, you're going to break up those onions. Those onions are going to break up into it a bit. And we're going to put the top back on, and we're going to let it cook a little more. Hi, back again. And now for the next part of the meal. Now, okay, like I said, in this house, we have vegans and we have carnivores. We have meat eaters and we have vegans, but real vegans. We've gone from raw to a little bit of cooked vegan stuff. So my wife over there, smiling like a little Cheshire cat, that's Melody. She's like, yay, he's gonna do some meat. All right, now, the reason why I wanted to do meat is because, look, this is the way my mom used to make it. Okay, she was a really good cook, and we used to eat meat in the house, all right? So like I said, every so often I like to have a little bit of meat. What's to do? So, anyway, first get a nice cut of beef, whichever you like to get, rump roast or pot roast. And so this little piece I picked up at the local store. And what we're going to do is we're not going to boil it in water. It's going to make its own juice right before your very eyes. And it's going to be savory. And it's going to come out good. Now, like I said, my mom used to like to put food in her salt. So if you're not a fan of too much salt. So you have a nice little salt shaker. I just salt it like that. And it's going to come out to be about maybe a half teaspoon of salt when I finish. So we're going to salt it up on this side. Hooray! I'm going to turn it over. This is what she used to do, okay? Now, as you can see, I'm not a super duper chef cook, but I just like to cook it and it tastes good. It tastes good like this. And she used to salt it with a lot more salt, okay? But anyway, and then just poke it in, let that salt kind of go in there a little bit into the meat. And what she used to like to do was garlic salt. Just a little garlic salt on it for flavor. And once again, I'm telling you, she was a big fan of accent, which I don't even know if they sell it anymore. I mean, when I left home, I never cooked with that, and we never had it in the house, so I don't know. But whatever you do, please try to stay away from. Hooray! And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of pepper. I like a little pepper. I like pepper and stuff, you know. If you're in South America, if you want to put chili pepper in it. That's your decision. I don't want too much pepper. God help me. I think maybe I put a little bit. And then, and by the way, you know, Mom over there, I'm starting out this year. She's got some nice things coming your way. She's already started. She has some nice products that she's making, like bags, hats, and good things like that. So keep tuning in to the Monte Cagle Show, and you're going to see a lot more of the things that she has to offer. She's going to do some nice presentations for you. There she is over there smiling, shaking her yes, yes. And that's Mama Melody from the island of Aruba. Aruba. I love that name, Aruba. But anyway, so look, so we did a little bit, salted it down really good. Poke it a little bit of it like that. And now, this is the clincher. You need a nice pot that you can put your whole roast in, about this size. And you're gonna get a few peas in there. Roll it out. And what we're gonna do is, we're gonna add
Oil?
yeah, olive oil is good.
Coconut
Or
oil.
coconut oil.
Any vegetable oil.
About 2 tablespoons of oil. At least, you know, like, cover the bottom of the pan. And I tell you, man, when Mom said, put the meat on. I'd be like getting ready with church, and they'd be in there ironing and their stuff like that, and she just like, put the meat on. And this is what I learned to do right there. This is my job sometimes. But she was always at the cooking. But some days she was like trying to wear this fabulous outfit, so she'd spend hours getting dressed, so I had to put the meat on. But anyway, cover your pan with the oil.
There's some peas in it. You want to take them out?
There's a peas. Now this peas is that's for our vegetable dish. Here. That's gonna be for our peas. So just cover the nice pan, that it's all covered with the oil. Like I said, 2 tablespoons would be nice. And then you add the meat.
So when do you put that black sauce on it then?
That black, once you get it in. Now I'm going to show you, there's another seasoning that she used quite a bit. So we're going to put it in there. And we're going to do, once again, we're going to put it down to a very low heat for starting. Or you could put it like a medium heat to start it, just to kind of cook that meat a bit. You know? And just plain old oil. That's all you got to do. Add that in there. Anyway, we're going to put the top on that. And we're going to let that cook for about, that's going to take about an hour and a half to cook. So we're going to start right now. Now this you don't have to put on a really low heat. You put it on like a medium heat to kind of cook that meat a bit. Medium. Put the top on it. And then, one of the things I forgot to show you, we're going to add this. This is called Kitchen Bouquet. So this stuff she used to use a lot. It has a real nice, it's also like soya sauce, you know. And I'm going to sprinkle that on top. And then I'm gonna jug that meat. So like, you know, puncture the meat a bit so it goes down into the flesh. This guy's really into flesh. Anyway, you plug that and you let that go down into the meat a bit. You know, you're gonna have to acquire a taste and figure the taste out yourself. Some people like it really strong in their meat, but I'll just put a little bit to add that extra flavor. So this is gonna cook. And also, what we're gonna do is, like, you know, we're quartering the onions. Actually, I'd like to have a little more onions, but I put most of the onions in the potatoes. But this is really good. But I just wanna, we're just gonna drop these onions in there. Let's say like 2 or 3 onions for flavor. That's gonna break up in a little bit. And we're gonna let that cook for about 15 minutes, kind of a medium heat to kind of cook that top meat a little bit. And I'm gonna add. You know, my mom was a real advocate. She was a real advocate of sugar in her food, but you don't have to put sugar in your food if you're like really, really healthy. But I mean, let's be honest. The Chinese, they put sugar in everything. That's why you go to Chinese restaurant and like, oh, I'm gonna have Chinese. That's why you like it so much, because it's got sugar in it. Everybody knows the power of sugar. 2 tablespoons full of it on top of that meat. You're gonna put that there. And wherever you go, there you are. So that's it. So we're gonna let this stuff cook a while, and we'll show you about halfway. We're gonna show you the next phase of it. Okay, cool. We're back at the meat. Like I don't know if I had the fire a little high, but I'm gonna turn it back down. Now you're gonna turn the meat over. And let it cook on this side a bit. As you can see, there's going to be a nice stew. Put it on top and then let it simmer down. I'm going to turn now. We'll let it cook in about medium heat on this side, almost like frying it a little bit on this side. And then I'm going to put this on another.
Whoa.
All right. This is the oh la la. Oh man! So we're gonna put this on this back here, and we're gonna, like I said, you know, this is just frozen, plain old frozen peas. This is gonna be another vegetable that we're gonna have with this meal. And I forgot to get a top, as you can see. And I'm just gonna let this. What's the matter for you? Hey, we're gonna have a real bit. Uh-oh. This top's a little big. But anyway. So we're gonna put this on. And we're gonna cook these peas. Oh yeah, I didn't put any seasoning in the peas. Now, as you can see now, this is gonna be one of our vegetables, another vegetables. I'm gonna add a little bit of a garlic salt. Like I said, this is garlic salt, okay? It's not like pure salt. But like I said, my mom used to, God, she would put food in her salt. So for all you diabetics or you like, you know, like who can't eat salt and heart trouble and stuff, I would suggest you lay off of the salt. I've actually tried to make amends and get off of the salt too. I really did. I really dropped it a lot. But it gives it a good flavor. What can you say? It really does. But drop the salt. No, it's a low sodium, okay? Just like a bacon. And like I said, I like a little pepper. So I'm going to add a little pepper. Now this is just frozen, and there's nothing outstanding or fresh about this. And garden peas already have a sweet taste. I'm not going to add any sugar. And I forgot to put a little bit of.
You can't see.
We're going to add a little bit of oil. I'll put it in this thing. It's frozen, so it won't hurt it anyway. But the main thing is in cooking, I guess, a little bit of oil, is just don't turn it on a high heat if you're going, and just stew your vegetables. So that's going to come out. Okay. So, and like I tell you, don't forget to keep tuning in. Mom's started her preparations for nice bags and jewelry, and and see, they're not going to burn. Like, just remember, just keep it on a medium heat. Now, I got the seasoning the way I want in the potatoes. So I'm gonna. So guys, look, it's pretty much ready, but for time's sake, I'm gonna let you taste the piece. So here we go. Cutting a nice piece. Let's see.
It's called vegan approved.
Vegan. Melody, don't get me. So this is partly, it's pretty much ready. Nice and tender. God, I wish I used to eat a lot of meat. But what's going to happen is it's still going to cook down a little more. But this is it, and it's going to be so... It's so soft. I can't believe it. I didn't put any water in there or nothing like that. So, that's the roast. And as you see, the potatoes have cooked down. Don't get me wrong. But the potatoes are good. She'll probably eat the potatoes with me. But these are stewed potatoes. Not 1 ounce of water. I didn't have to boil it. It float there. And they're just... And even the peas came out pretty good. Wow. So, thanks for tuning in. We got a lot more stuff coming your way. Good, helpful tips. Eating and cooking and music and romance and everything. So, hey, this is the end result. We're going to sit down for a nice roast and have some potatoes and stuff. Southern style, y'all.
Oh.
All right.
All right, let's eat. Yeah.
Woo!
Insert plate up. Remember, keep looking up and not down. And log on to montecagle.com. Have a nice one and see you soon.